Hey friends. Okay, today is a big day. Why do my lips look like bright pink? That is odd. I'm wearing gloss. It's not even dark. Okay, anyway, so big day because we're going to talk about how to sell a kit, which is kind of an important part of the job. It's kind of how you have a job at all doing this. So you gotta enroll your whole journey. So and you can always get better at it. So even if you're not brand new, let's collaborate and listen and be a nerd and talk about how to sell a kit more effectively. So we're going to be going into like more detail as far as like okay, what do we do that leads up to this point, as far as like getting a sale and enrolling a new member. But I want to cover this now because sometimes like day one that you like just barely start putting stuff out there, putting feelers out there and sharing stuff about oils, like if you are brand new, a lot of times I've seen this, like people will be like, oh my god, okay, someone just asked how to buy a kit, like I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, like we should probably do that ahead of time. So that's what we're doing today. So okay, let's talk about having some systems in place. So really simple. Like what I do is I have like notes in my phone of like little responses that I could have. So say like, okay, one of the main things I have is just like a breakdown of the kit and like explain. So like my pitch basically for the kit. It sounds like I'm saying kid. I'm saying kit, premium starter kit. You know that. So, so my little pitch, and we'll talk about how to like frame that in a way that's actually compelling to people. But you do want just like a basic rundown, right? So that you can just like, if you really need to, and you don't have, and you're not like, you just need to shove something at someone with some more information, then you can do that. Copy paste. So also you're going to definitely want your link, your referral link, copied and saved in a note so that you can copy and paste that. However, very important, I made this mistake a lot. So listen, do not go hucking that referral link at people as like step one. Okay, you want to super make sure that you try to invite them into a conversation. Always. So, okay, let's, okay. Another little quick system that you might have is, and this is something you can do today. We have for Instagram stories, and then that also translates over to Facebook. I've made several little Instagram stories, like Kit 101 slides, and I'll teach you more about how to do that. But like, so ideally, like you would have something like that already saved in your Instagram. So if you have someone that just like wants a little bit more info, you can be like, yeah, you should check out my class that I have on my Instagram or whatever in my highlights, and then they'll go through that. And then maybe the conversation can flow a little better after they kind of already have a basic idea of what's going on, or maybe it's just like, you have a video to share, a link to like a YouTube or something. Some people like to share that audio 101 thing from Sarah Harnish, the game plan lady. It's whatever like speaks to you. I personally think that it should be your own thing, like your own, I'm teaching you this, like your own video or your own like stories class, like I talked about. That's just a really good way to do it. And people can just like fast forward through to the parts that, because we're squirrels, humans, we don't pay attention to things, So, okay. So let's talk about, all right, that conversation. Like we really, really, really always want the goal to be when somebody comments that they're tells us like, oh, what's, something that tells you that they're interested more in learning more about oils, right? Even if they're like, I want the kit, how do I get it? You want to start a conversation with them. So basically like, all right, well, let's back up a tiny bit. So like, so step number one, and hopefully you've been doing this, prior to this point that this person is interested. You need to be, when you're talking about oils, always, sharing like your own specific stories. So like go back to that basic, like use, love, and share. And when it comes to sharing, like, you better not be giving like cliches. You know what I'm saying? Like, young living has changed my life. It's the best. Like with no other context, like no other details, no other specific reasons, like, why or what it was like before, and, exactly what changed and when, and like what that actual before and after looks like. Because, okay, here's the thing. I'm probably going to tell you more about this a lot more later, but, okay, let me tell you about a little secret. So, something that you want to always remember, and that it's called We FM. WII, like we, like, We FM. And that is a little radio station, and it is always, always, always playing in the background of every human's mind whenever they are consuming any kind of content, even in a conversation, even anything they're reading. Like We FM is always playing. And you want to know what that is? It stands for What's in It for Me. Yeah, because humans are really selfish and terrible. So, no, you do this too and you're not terrible. So, you need to always, always be making sure that they are tuned into you and not just the We FM station playing, by giving them what's in it for them. And this is important the more that I'm going to tell you more about how to have this conversation. So they need to always be seeing themselves like in your story. You need to be talking about things that actually relate to them, that trigger like a thought in their mind that's like, oh, I have that problem, or oh, that's happened to me, or like, well, I want that part of my life to be easier, or basically like I want what she has, because it's about me, what's in it for me. And you always want to be speaking to that, okay? So you have to tell them what that is. What is it that you have that they're gonna wish that they had, like specifics, details, always with a relatable story, like with your own testimonials. So like, even when you're doing classes, please pause and be careful that you don't just read a script and be like, lavender is good for skin. Like, no, like, that is boring. That is like, you're giving them an encyclopedia article. Like, no one wants to read that, or hear that or whatever. So, so don't just say, lavender is good for your skin. Talk about what it did for your skin and what that was like and how that amazed you. And because if you're just giving facts, that will not necessarily trigger that what is in it for me. That, oh, you have something I need. Because facts like aren't compelling, right? Storytelling is key, and that's another day, and we'll go over that more. So, okay. So just remember, like that We FM, it's gonna drown out the noise of your boring facts if that's what you're sharing, unless you are telling a compelling story. Okay. Always, always, always a story with your own testimonials. Or sometimes you can borrow one from someone else. If like, say you're talking to someone about some specific thing that you haven't experienced, you're like, oh, well, my good friend Emily, her son has eczema, and this is what, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my, it's crazy. Like this happened, blah, blah, like, so sometimes you can have those in your back pocket too, if you don't have your own story that relates. So, okay. Back to, you're in a convo. Someone's approached you in some way, and it is time to work. So you're going to have a little chat with someone. So, oh geez. Okay. All right. Backing up again. Just a quick point. That is a little bit one step ahead, because you are, I guess, step 1.5 is that you are going to let people come to you. And I did just want to touch on that real quick, because, we are not just like spamming people out of nowhere, messaging them out of nowhere and being like, so, blah, blah, blah. Like, you only want to be talking to people that have expressed interest to you. And you are going to be putting out those feelers all the time, sharing your stories, posting stuff, talking about your life, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then you will get a little bit of response from people, and those are the people that you're going to be talking with. They come to you. They come to you first. So, sorry, I'm trying to look at my notes. Yeah. So when you do put something out there, you're going to want to take a little step back and like pay attention. Okay, who is paying attention? Like, who is actually listening to me? And people will comment things like, so what oil do you use for allergies? Or, something like that. And again, that's because they've got that WeFM playing, and they're going, oh, cool story about your dog, but I want to know about allergies, because like that's my thing. Because if they're always listening for something that pertains to them. So now for every, person whose WeFM is loud enough that they're going to go out on a limb and actually type a comment to you, there are going to be a ton of lurkers who are not going to actually take that step. So this is important. You don't, okay, so think about those lurkers and the people that aren't asking their own questions. Well, if they see someone else ask their question and you give them a detailed answer right there on the post, they're gonna be like, oh, cool. And then you never knew that they were also wanting to know that thing, right? So this is a little bit of a fine line. You got to balance this thing. And I mean, like, okay, you got to your goal is to pull aside the person that asked that question into a conversation. So as far as your public response to them, it's a little bit of a half answer. So you can say a little bit, a tiny bit, just a snippet, and be like, or maybe something that kind of hit like, oh yeah, I totally have something that works awesome for that. I get the worst allergies. Like, let me message you. I'll tell you all about it. Okay. So or even just, oh yeah, I'll message you what I do, or even just a simple, yeah, I'll DM you. And that is where the magic happens. And we're going to go into that. But like I say, it's a fine line because you don't want to be like those really sleazy, marketers out there, and make them DM you for the most basic information. There are literally companies that train their people to not even say the name of their company, in their post. People are like, oh, what toothpaste is that? And they're like, I'll message you. And you're like, I didn't want you to, what? What are you talking about? I just want to know what you're talking about, So be careful that you don't come across like that, because that is kind of a typical MLM-y thing for people to just be like, I'm going to trap you in your DMs, so make sure that you're coming about it in a way that's I'd love to help you, because yeah, you don't need to have this whole conversation about your allergy protocol on your page, it's that. So, okay. Yeah. Because people that are spammy and gross, it's hard eye roll. So no need to be spammy and weird and cryptic. Just direct them to that private conversation so that you can address their specific needs. It is truly about serving them better. So, okay, here's where it gets good. You are going to want to ask them questions. Okay. So they might have asked you something. And if they did something directly, specific, definitely give them a good answer to that question. Make sure that you're there to help them. But then your job is to fact find. So you're going to try to find out all of the things that are swirling around in their WeFM. All of the reasons why they care to know more about oils. So what it is they're looking to get out of them. So a good way to go there is just a simple what sort of piques your interest in oils? Okay, maybe they've already said one thing. So you're so what other kinds of things are you hoping that oils might be able to help you with? Or what all have you heard that oils might be able to help that piqued your interest? You're just curious about what it is that they've heard. You want to know where they're at with that. So never a yes, no. So, have you heard of blah, blah, blah? No, it has to be open-ended. So you give them opportunity to really speak. And you're going to, like, okay, it has to be open-ended because so that you can discover like exactly what it is that you are going to help them with. Like, yeah, and you're showing them, well, okay, with the kit. You want to know exactly how you can help them with the starter kit because you are, we know that like obviously that is what they need. If everyone needs oils, duh. And everyone needs to get started with the starter kit because, hello, like you should believe in that 1,000 and $1,000,000%. Like that is what they need. So we really need to convince them. Like we need to find all their little issues and stuff so that we can be like, oh, this will help you with that, and this will help you with that, and like give them what they're looking for. But because because here's the thing, like we know like 100% of the time, like there's an oil for that. Well, the thing is, 99% of the time, there is an oil for that in the kit, okay? So that is, that is your job to make sure that you're going to be digging in deep, finding out as much as you can. I mean, remember, people love to talk about themselves, so give them more opportunities, like keep asking. And if they're giving you like this huge long list, oh, I want to know about it for sleep and for my kids, and my kid has like ADD, and oh, I'm like, my husband snores and blah, 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 and they're just like going on and on. Oh, you're in a good position because you are going to be able to help them with a bazillion problems. I got 99 of them. And if they do, you're in. So your work is cut out for you, but they have made it very simple because you're just going to solve those problems. This is what's known in marketing as pain points, and it is like crucial because again, it's what's in it for me, what's in it for me. Okay, so okay, you are going to find them solutions in the kit. That is your job. So and let's talk about that. So what if you're like, I don't know. Like, they're giving me a lot of questions, and I am not the encyclopedia, and I do not know. Like, I'm not sure. Okay, first of all, that's okay. You can ask for help. You can ask us for help. You can ask me. You can ask your group. You can ask your upline. You can Google. You can look at any other kind of like groups or books or resources or whatever. And it is okay if you like say they're giving you all this stuff. It is okay, like if you need to take the time to do that, you might want to go ahead and tell them like, okay, awesome. Would it be okay if I just took a minute to get some info together for you so I can help you with that? And they're gonna be like, oh, you're so sweet, sure, like of course, right? So like you can go ahead and take some time to do that. And like, but here's the thing. A lot of people get tripped up on this. You do not need to be the oils expert. You do not need to be a certified aromatherapist. Like, oh my God, like I thought that. I was like, okay, I'm not going to talk about this until I am a certified aromatherapist and I have like credibility and people actually listen to me. No. Okay, you don't have to be the expert. However, you do need to be a student of the kit. The kit, it is a big part of your job right now. If you're brand new, to study. I'm like forgetting if I've already gone over this in another video. So if I have, I'm sorry. You need to study the crap out of it. All 12 oils. I really want you to try to have like on the back, like the back of your hand, like 3 to 5 or 7 or more uses for each of those oils, things that they can help with. Okay, take a little time, take 5 minutes a day, and like maybe pick one oil and like do some research, okay? Because that's going to help you so much. When you know more of the answers that you can help people get started with that kit. Like all you need to know is the kit. That's it. And you can do that. You can handle 12 oils. Maybe not 197 blends from day one, but you can handle 12. Okay? Right? Can't you? Yes. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, it is worth your time to work on that. All right, so that's your job at this point in the convo. You've gotten all their little issues. Now you're going to come up and craft your little pitch. So, and like I said earlier, like you should already have kind of a basic kit pitch already written up in your phone. But what we're going to do is customize it, of course, and answer all of those questions that they had or all those issues that they brought up from your questions, so that it speaks exactly to this person's needs. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, this is like a one-stop shop for literally everything that you just told me, like, so, and that's the kind of like enthusiasm you got to have with it, because you're like, ooh, like, guess what? This is going to solve all your problems. Okay. And let me just give you a little example. I completely stole this from Casey Jackson. I pretty much am obsessed with her. She's a platinum as of this recording. She's probably like Royal Crown tomorrow. Okay, and she has enrolled literally hundreds of people, hundreds, by doing this and having this kind of combo. And this is her pitch. Okay, I'm gonna read it. Okay, pretend you're in DMs. Honestly, the starter kit would probably be the best option for you. I love my kit because I always have something I can use no matter what. The kit is $165. Okay, pause. Do not be afraid of tossing out that price point like at the beginning, okay? Because you don't want to like talk it up and be like, and by the way, it's $165. No. It's only $100. Like, you put that at the front, right? Like, straight away, okay? That's a little, you might have to work on that issue if you feel that way, like you feel uneasy about that. Don't feel uneasy. It's a friggin' steal, okay? Okay, going back to it. The kit is $165, and it comes with the Desert Mist diffuser. Okay, pause again. Yes, there's 4,000 other diffusers. How about we just talk about one of them, okay? Make it simple. She's a genius. Okay, comes with the Desert Mist diffuser, a membership so that you can get the wholesale price on anything else you buy, and 12 oils. Then you go through every single oil in the kit and customize to them. So it's like, and then there's lavender, which this is actually going to be, what you're going to want to use for Joey for his naps. That plus this, and then like talk about, okay, Panaway, this is like Jack is going to need that for his back. Like, this is how that works. A little bit of info about each of those to them, like what they asked for, okay? And she says like, oh my God, okay, this is the best. This is the best part, you guys. Buckle up. You're going to like shout hallelujah. Okay. She literally said of it, she's like, I feel like this next part is key as to why we enroll so many people. Okay. Here we go. The membership also makes it so that if you happen to have a good experience with your kit and you refer a friend to buy a kit, you get $50 back every time. Yes! Okay, so you got a pause again. This isn't part of it. It's a perk. You got, like, what? You want to pitch that the business is a perk that gets, pitched to every single person before they even buy a kit. Because, hello, yeah, you don't have to be like, I'm going to be diamond. That's my goal. To refer people and get money and, like, get your stuff paid for. Like, that's insane. And everyone needs to know that. And it is a huge, massive perk to this, and you want to just normalize that. Like, so you're putting that straight away. You're not, like afraid to go there about the fact that, oh yeah, there's like the money opportunity, like, you don't have to be weird about it. Like, this is normal. Like, people know what affiliate things are, or referrals or whatever. Like, they know, like, that's not weird, So, make it a big part of your whole vibe, that it's just like, this is what you do. Okay. Pause again. Back to the last bit that she says in her message. This is again, Casey. Okay. That's a lot of info, but wanted to be thorough. It literally has changed our lives with our kids, and I can't imagine living without it now. Ha. She's good. She's good. Okay. So, and like, that's one thing that I was tripped up on a lot. I need some calm roll right now, you guys. I'm really worked up. That is one thing that I was really tripped on, because you know me, I write a novel every time I write something. It's just who I am. And I used to get so worried because all you hear from people are like, oh, don't word vomit, which is yes, like, don't, like, Okay, when you're having that convo, don't word vomit at them. Instead, ask questions so that they word vomit on you. But there is a time and a place to give details as far as adding value to that person. Okay, again, people like to talk about themselves, hear about themselves. So they're going to read it if it's about them. So like, yes, go ahead and give good details in hitting all those pain points. And don't be afraid of that, because that is the time to like, you don't need to be concise with that, which was a cool lesson that I learned from her. So, okay. And obviously you guys, if you're like me and you transcribed that, and I can copy and paste if you want, I definitely encourage you to tweak that wording so that it sounds like you. If it's not exactly like how you talk, then do not write that. Okay. But still, simple stuff that you can, a framework to work off of. Okay, so now here's the thing. It doesn't always go perfectly. So you might encounter a little bit of a hiccup, and we like to call that objections. So how do you overcome that? So after you send that little pitch, it's a package of problem solving to you. Wait, okay? Don't resist the urge to be like, no, just turn it off, turn it down, shut it down, and wait for them to respond. So, and there may be a response of somewhat of an objection. Okay. So, and that is part of your job to like overcome that. So what kind of objection? That's another whole topic. Maybe they're saying like, they're implying it's too expensive or they can't afford it right now. Or maybe they're saying something like, I don't know. I mean, ask my husband or whatever. Well, first of all, that's not an objection. Like, they're just telling you that they're going to talk about a purchase with their husband. Like, cool. Like, that's not a big deal. So if you do not know how to answer their little concern with a response that's actually going to get you closer to sealing the deal, talk to us. Get help. Let us help you walk you through that. And because there is an answer. There is a good answer that's going to get you a little bit of a step closer. So we're always going to be, working on that. And that's a huge part of this too, learning how to overcome those. So don't be afraid, reach out and we'll help you through it. It's always better to wait and just wait until you have a good answer than to respond with something that's going to like totally ruin it. So, okay. Now, okay, so say you make it through any objections, or say they're just like, I'm in love, like this is the best thing ever. Okay, I need it in my life right now. Now is the point where you drop that link. Okay, so like I said, I made this mistake so many times. We're like, oh, how do I get the kit? And I'm like, here, you just visit the site and there it is. Like, no, like that. Okay, but after you've gone through, gotten their pain points, customized your pitch, and told them how you're going to solve all your problems with it, and they're saying yes, they're like, okay, I'm in, I need it. That's when you go ahead and send them your link. Okay, so not a moment sooner. Make them ask you for it specifically. Can you give me the link? And then yes, do it. And then you go ahead and get them all signed up, and they might have questions about that. It's a lot more streamlined now than it used to be. Hallelujah again. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So you did it. You stole the cat. Now, okay, so what about not in a DM? What about doing this in person? Or say you're teaching in class, you're having an event. It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, all you're doing is having conversations. So say you're having a class, well, you might want to take the time to make sure you know why everyone is there. Maybe that's your opener, and you are taking notes on people, and because they go, oh, you care. You actually care about my answer. So you want to know why everyone is there. Why? So maybe that's how you get that started in a class. Find out what they need. Ask more questions, when you are talking to them. Don't just sell your things. And then okay, say you are having that, maybe you're having just an in-person conversation, and all this is coming up to the front, and you're like, oh, I don't have my things saved or my notes on my phone. So maybe you freeze a little bit, like say they're telling you things that you don't specifically know the answer to. Don't be afraid to tell them like, oh, I could totally look that up for you. I know I've heard about that somewhere, like something like that. Or you can also give them more, again, of your own stories, your own specific examples and testimonials that might be at least relevant to them, like in some way. So, but do try your hardest to like keep it back to those things that they are telling you about, that they're asking about, so you can specifically serve them and solve their problems. So, okay, okay, well, what if all this fails and they say no? Well, that's gonna happen. So be prepared. Prepare your heart. That's okay. So if they're not buying right then, make sure that you are connected to them. So say it's someone you just met in a park or something. Well, make sure you're added and connected on social media. Someone in your class or whatever, like make sure you have that connection so that they are going to keep seeing your stuff, your education, your lifestyle. They're going to want it, your stories and all that. And make sure you keep showing up and giving that, and being consistent. And then also make sure that you stay connected with them on a personal level. Like put them on your little list of love, stay, be a shining light of positiveness, in their life, like respond on their stuff, comment, be someone that they love to hear from. Okay, well, that was longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay, well, that's it, you guys. How to sell. You can do it. Okay, let's chat, and yeah, this is awesome. We're going to have so much fun. All right, talk to you soon.